Stakeholder relationships and governance mechanisms. Do these elements influence scale-up project adaptation during COVID-19? Hello everyone. We will examine up to 27 different projects targeting hypertension and diabetes interventions which are currently being scaled up. We will examine these projects with an aim to understand who are the different stakeholder groups who are involved in large-scale, multi-country collaborative scale-up projects. We will examine each of these projects to get a better understanding of the nature of relationships that exist between these different stakeholders. One of our important aims is to understand whether strong and positive relationships helps teams to respond and adapt to implementation challenges such as COVID-19. In the first instance, we gathered data from 21 projects. This data was in the form of documents such as grant applications, project proposals, or protocols. We reviewed this data in order to map the different stakeholders across these projects. As you can see, the implementation countries are different, as are the research partners. After completing a stakeholder mapping, we went on to undertake multi-stakeholder interviews with each of these projects. So far, we have completed 41 interviews with a range of stakeholders. Let me take you through some of my preliminary findings. The high-income country research team and the in-country research team form two of the biggest stakeholder groups within a scale-up system. The relationship that exists between these two stakeholder groups is a very important part of and a driving force for the entire collaboration. Scale-up projects run over many years and takes a lot of collaboration between these two partners. A relationship that is based on equality, respect, and trust is really important as it creates a positive culture. A culture that encourages open communication, and when people and different stakeholders can bring their problems onto a common table and discuss these to identify locally relevant and contextually adapted solution, it means that the project teams can respond easily to implementation challenges. It is mostly up to the lead investigators who are responsible to foster this sort of a respectful culture. Clear governance mechanisms is also an important part of maintaining this two-way information flow. While it is mostly the responsibility of the in-country research team to develop bridges and strong linkages with policymakers and industry stakeholders, in our study we found that if the research team members from the high-income country, if they have their own independent linkages with the policymakers in the implementation country, then this encourages stronger and deeper linkages. If the research team members have past history of collaborating with the policymakers, it means that they can use their previous linkages and problem solve in case of any unanticipated implementation challenges. It is impossible to plan for every single challenge that can exist, and COVID is a good example of that. However, we have found that if positive relationships are encouraged, and if strong governance systems are put in place, then large-scale collaborative studies can continue to sail and navigate challenges.